Good evening. It's wonderful to be back with you again, isn't it, Ronnie?
Yes, it's wonderful. In my case, amazing. But for one night only. In a packed programme tonight, I shall be having a word with a song and dance man who only this morning put on a happy face, buttoned up his overcoat, pulled on his fancy pants and zippered his doodah.
And Elizabeth Hurley will be here in the studio to tell us about her selfish streak. She did it at 4 o'clock in the morning when most of us were fast asleep in bed.
But first, the news. The recently revealed fears of Health Minister Frank Dobson that the whole NHS was against him was confirmed tonight. He fainted in Whitehall and 4 doctors rushed up and tightened his clothing.
And in our new series of medical hints by well-known actresses, tonight, your very own Googie Withers, and what to do if it does.
Meanwhile, at the Old Bailey, Clarence du Barry, the world's greatest confidence trickster, sentenced the judge to 5 years hard labour.
An unhappy moment at King's Cross Station tonight when a Scottish football fan, 3 weeks early for the football season, lost his luggage moments after stepping off the train. The cork fell out.
Finally, a police message. You're warned to be on the lookout for Joseph Gomez, a Spaniard, last heard of living in Tooting, whose mother was a nun in Barcelona. At one time flautist with the symphony orchestra, he is wanted for looting in Haifa, where he worked on a farm. Police are particularly anxious to interview Gomez, a man they described as a highfalutin, flutin', tootin' son of a nun from Barcelona.
Coming up in Two Ronnies Night, Michael Parkinson and a host of celebrity fans introduce a perfect Two Ronnies show, made up of the very best bits of the Two Ronnies, after which it's back to the news desk before handing over to the 9 o'clock news. After the news at 9:30, a bit more from the famous news desk before Barry Cryer chairs a look at the creation of the Two Ronnies in the long and the short of it, with more classic clips. After that, at about 10:20, the nation's favourite sketch will be revealed and shown in full. But now it's your chance to have your say.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh. Don't you know everyone wants to laugh?
But now we come to that point in the show where everyone votes for their favourite Two Ronnies sketch, except Ronnie Barker, that is, of course, who wrote some of them.
Ah, yes, but I can say, quite impartially, here's a reminder of the front runners, plus the telephone numbers for you to ring and record your vote for the nation's all-time favourite Two Ronnies sketch.
Even if you were little at the time. Well, I've been little all the time. The lines are open now and will be until 8:30. Oh.
To vote for 4 candles, call 0900 144 7701.
4 candles.
4 candles. Here you are. 4 candles.
No, 4 candles.
Well, there you are, 4 candles.
No, 4 candles. Handles for forks.
To vote for Mastermind, call 0900 144 7702.
And so to our first contender. Good evening. Your name, please.
Good evening.
In your first heat, your chosen subject was answering questions before they were asked. This time, you have chosen to answer the question before last each time. Is that correct?
Charlie Smithers.
To vote for squash, call 0900 144 7703.
I say it's a super game, isn't it? I can't understand why I've never tried it before. Absolutely lovely. I loved it. But thanks to you, old boy, of course, from now on, I shall be a dedicated squish player.
To vote for Swearbox, call 0900 144 7704.
Now watch it, Mr. Parson. You'll have to mind your language in here from now on. Look here.
What's a swear box? That's a good idea. Is it for charity?
The church fund. 5p a time.
Oh, you'll make a fortune.
To vote for opticians, call 0900 144 7705.
What about that? Eh? Eh, yes, and I didn't help you at all with that one, did I? No, I got... No, that's the hat stand. Oh,
To To vote for 4 candles, call 0900 144 7701.
To vote for Mastermind, call 0900 144 7702.
To vote for Squash, call 0900 144 7703.
To vote for Swearbox, call 0900 144 7704.
To vote for Opticians, call 0900 144 7705.
So there you have it. We'll be counting the votes and announcing the winner and showing the sketch in its entirety later in the show.
But first, a sketch in which John Thor plays an unfortunate criminal who is duffed up by the Sweeney, arrested by Inspector Morse and defended by Kavanagh QC.
Good evening. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, the Two Ronnies kept the nation laughing. On Saturday nights on BBC One, they achieved the sort of ratings and universal appeal that elude even the most successful entertainers today. Later on this evening, you'll be seeing how the Two Ronnies came to be so successful. But for now, let's enjoy them at their finest. Some of their greatest fans, and you may recognise a few, have chosen their favourite bits from nearly 100 episodes, which together make a perfect Two Ronnies show.
Reading the news isn't quite as easy as it looks. The Two Ronnies were brilliant at it, and they taught me everything I know.
But first, the news. In Sopforth today, the funeral of Britain's most successful door-to-door salesman was called off because every time they tried to close the lid of the coffin, he jammed his foot in it. And the wife of a man who never learned the difference between a brazier and a brazier was granted a divorce today on 2 counts. First, no, that's not the joke. First, because when she wanted underwear for Christmas, he gave her 2 big rusty tins with holes in. And secondly, because of the way he kept trying to roast his chestnuts.
Frank Muir, the blessed Frank, once wrote that a sketch is to a full-length play what a toffee is to a 4-course dinner. Well, I think you're going to enjoy this next toffee. It's a wonderful sketch, I think, 5 3/4 minutes, written by John Sullivan, the author of Only Fools and Horses, together with a chap called Fred Usher, who may have come up with the basic idea. And in a way, you can imagine Del Boy and Rodney playing the parts of the 2 characters in this sketch about the Argentinian racing pigeon. Well, Ronnie Corbett thinks he's bought an Argentinian racing pigeon and has to be disabused of the notion. It's very cleverly constructed. There's laughs all the way through it. The big one comes 2.5 minutes in when we discover the identity of that pigeon. And it must have been quite difficult for them to decide how they'd put a punchline in at the end, because most of what's gone on before it is going to be funnier than anything you finish on. But they've come up with a cracking finish as well. From the moment Ronnie Barker enters, with a legend on his T-shirt announcing that he's been to the bird sanctuary, the laughs begin, and they don't let up. Have a toffee.
George, the tap's leaking, the telly man's repossessed your electric organ, and the dog's done it again. Welcome home. Me and Lil have gone to Brighton, your loving wife, Ede. P.S. Your dinner's down the chip shop. That's charming, isn't it? Charming. Down the chip shop. Cool.
Have you in?
Hey?
You back, George?
No, still down there, Sid. What you're staring at now is one of those uncanny encounters of the 3rd Division, see? Probably due to the time warp on the A33 between Croydon and the coast.
Hey?
Of course I'll back you, Burke.
Has the week gone already, then?
Yes, time flies, Sidney.
Good thing elephants don't. I've got it.
Have you? Have you been anywhere with it?
No, I thought I'd show it to you first.
I don't want to see it.
Well, I thought you might be interested, didn't I? I've never had a racing pigeon before.
Racing pigeon? You bought a racing pigeon? You don't like birds. You're illogical to feathers, ain't you?
Well, I know that, but this one was going cheap.
Well, all birds go cheap.
Now, I mean, the fellow only wanted 25 quid for it, and it's a real champion.
Who sold it you?
Fella down the pub, you know.
Oh, dear. Not that chap who sold you that great big lump of black moon rock.
Yeah, that's him. The Coleman.
He's done you again, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he has. I remember when he sold you that Elizabeth I wristwatch.
Look, George, that was a genuine antique, you know.
In the time of Elizabeth I, they didn't have digital watches, did they?
Well, that's probably why it didn't work. I mean, you couldn't ask for more proof than that, could you? Listen, I'll bring it in then and let you...
Go on, let's have a look at this champion then. Go on.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. Come on then. There we are. That's it. Come on then. That's it. Yeah, we're a bit nervous, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's highly strung.
Come on then.
That's it. That's it. There we are.
It's a duck.
Hey?
It's a duck.
Where?
Where? In the cage, it's a duck.
He's a racing pigeon.
Oh, it's a duck. Look, it's got webbed feet, unless you bought it a pair of flippers, have you?
Don't go on. That's them feet of his. That's kind of what's named streamlining.
What, aerodynamics?
That kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, Orv, it's a duck. He's done you again, the Coleman. He has. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. I remember that time he sold you that day-old golden Labrador pup. Turned out to be an hamster.
Look, George, that was a genuine mistake on his part, be fair.
Yeah, well, that's his maybe. That's his maybe. I shouldn't try and join the Pigeon Fanciers Association with that thing, innit?
This is no everyday, ordinary racing pigeon, I tell you.
I know, it's an everyday duck.
It is an Argentinian racing pigeon.
Yeah, Argentinian racing codswallop. Look, he's got a bill instead of a beak, innit?
That's its beak. It was in one of these night races over the Argentinian Pampas. And he ran into a mountain. That's what's happened to it.
What do you feed him on, then?
Fish.
It's a duck.
It's a Argentinian... Look, I took it out for a test flight.
Yeah?
It flies just like a pigeon.
Oh, yeah, fast, is it?
Oh, fast. I should say it's fast. Not very fast, no. No. As a matter of fact, he was overtaken by a couple of sparrows, but he's got some stamina.
Oh, yeah?
I was out looking for him for hours, I was.
Were you? Where'd you find him?
Over the duck pond.
It's a duck, isn't it?
It's an Argentinian pig.
Look at the... See, he's waggling the back of himself. Look at that. Look at that. It's just like a teddy boy's haircut the back there, isn't it?
Don't say things like that in front of him. You'll offend him.
No, I doubt if he cares, Sid. It'd be like water off an Argentinian racing pigeon's back to him. Has he got a name, has he?
Yeah. Donald.
It's a duck.
It's a race.
Look, let's be fair. Let's face facts, shall we? Look, it's got waterproof feathers, it's got webbed feet, it's got a bill instead of a beak. You feed it on fish and you find it on a duck pond. And it quacks.
It's a duck!
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
What am I going to do with it now?
Well, there's only one thing to do with it, isn't there, eh? You've got to take it over to the park and you give it his freedom. Tell you what, I'll come with you. I've got to give the greyhound a run.
Oh, yeah?
I'm teaching it to hunt, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Hunt what?
Ducks. Come on, Jet, come on.
Oh, there we go.
Hello, I'm Russ Abbott, in person. Oh, yes, this is not a sketch. The thing I admire about the Two Ronnies is their shows are of such a high standard and fabulous quality, and have been for over 25 years. They don't make them like that nowadays. Oh, no, no, no. I mean, they are wordsmiths. They have a mutual generosity when it comes to the feed line and the payoff line. They are very, very intelligent, and so is their material. Here's one of my favourite sketches. It's called Cross Lines, and listen out for Cox's Pippins. See? It won't come off.
Hello. Hello, Simon. Hello, Gerald here.
Hello, Doris. Doris, it's me, Walter.
How are you, old man?
All right, thanks.
Listen, Simon, I had to ring you up to find out how you got on with that fabulous new girl last night.
Not too bad. There were one or two things I couldn't quite get hold of.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I know the kind of girl, yes. Where did you take her? Somewhere exotic?
Sainsbury's.
Bianca Jagger goes there, doesn't she?
I think the best thing I can do, dear, is to go through the list with you.
Yes, that's a good idea. So what was she like? I mean, what sort of girl?
A French bread.
Oh.
Bloomers too large.
Well, kept slipping down, you mean? Oh, well, if you will go ice skating, you will keep slipping down, won't you, old chap? Yeah.
And rolls for 20p.
She doesn't. What did you say her name was?
Hovis.
I think I know her. Listen, isn't she pregnant at the moment, though?
No current bands, dear. No, they'd run out. A tin of something for the cat.
This all sounds very fishy to me, old sport. Very fishy indeed. Did you say her parents were in oil?
Yes, the Pilchards.
Well, she sounds a right little raver. I don't know how she had the energy.
She said the milkman hadn't been round yet.
Well, that would explain it, of course, yeah. What did you do?
I had to get sterilized.
Good God.
To be on the safe side, I'll put them in the fridge when I get back.
Well, rather you than me, old chap.
Now, where was I?
So, she took you home and gave you a nightcap, did she? I see.
Yes, dear.
What sort? What?
Yes.
That sounds a bit of a puffy drink, old chap.
Well, it's all she had, fairy liquid.
Oh, I see. She had the bitter lemon and you had something stronger.
Yes, 3 tins of curry powder.
Yes, just to keep you going, eh? You lucky devil, I wish I'd been there. What sort of perfume was she wearing? Something really exotic?
Salt and vinegar and smoky bacon.
Making a pig of herself, was she?
Oh, sorry, that was a mistake, dear.
She was what? Wearing a cross-your-heart bra?
I thought it said OXO.
Oh, I see, so you naturally took the opportunity of having a quick...
Butchers, yes, dear, yes. Yes, I didn't forget the steaks.
You saw her do what to the bra?
Fill it. With 2 portions of sirloin. Yes, I did make sure they were tender, dear, yes.
So I see you had her sitting there, nicely on the boil. Then what did you do?
I went across the road for some apples.
That's all you need, isn't it? I mean, that is all you need. A dog leaping up into your lap.
Yes, the crunchy sort. With the yellow skin, you know.
Golden retriever.
Golden delicious.
I bet he bites people, doesn't he?
And cocks his pippins.
Yes, I'm sure. What a terrible thing to happen. So what exactly did you say?
My 3 minutes is up. I'll have to go, dear.
That's about all you could say, I suppose.
Yes, dear.
Listen, you haven't told me yet, Simon, what this girl does for a living. What? She what? She works at Sainsbury's.
You forgot your champagne, Walter, darling.
That's for us, dear, later.
I say, Simon, is this girl about 6 foot tall, blonde, big blue eyes, and other things to match?
Look, dear, I'm going to be late. I've got a fair bit to see to.
I should forget it all, Simon. I'm sorry, old sport, you've been short-changed. Wiry little basket.
One of the brilliant things was, week by week, they always had, during the 70s and 80s, always had a fantastic musical star of the day on. You know, ranged from everyone, from the cheesy to the brilliant. So can I just say, ladies and gentlemen, the Nolans.
Oh, lay that pistol down, boy, lay that pistol down. Pistol packing, Papa, lay that pistol down. People all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. People all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. And the devil will drag you under by sharp lapel of your checkered coat. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat.
Okay, so what do I think? Well, to describe Ronnie Barker as a comedian is to miss the point. In fact, he's a comedy actor of the very highest order. Think of his contribution to various sitcoms and the range and variety he has brought to the characters he created. I loved his monologues in the Two Ronnies. They were the perfect showcase for his versatility, and this is one of my favourites. It's a reworking of an old routine, given new life by Ronnie Barker.
Half wine, I'm thinking. Yours, yes, right. Right, I think, look, you all go out on the terrace. I'll get the waiter to bring the drinks out, shall I? That's fine. Off we go.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
What would you like?
Well, to start with, I'll have a large gin tonic.
Sir.
Very large.
Ice and lemon, sir?
Yeah, if there's room in the glass, yes.
And what else, sir?
Well, as a matter of fact, I've just met these people. See, I don't know them at all. They're all friends of my wife, you see. So now let's see. The lady in the sack dress wants an enormous brandy. The young man with a flat head wants a rum and coke. Andy, he's the tall chap. He's Scottish. He wants a pink gin with lemon. The girl with the boobs wants a white lady. My wife will have a Scotch on the rocks. The woman with the bare arms behind her, she will have half a bottle of the house wine. And the old man with the rather shifty eyes, he'll have a rough cider. But before that, I'll have another gin and tonic.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Beautiful. So, right, so that's an enormous brandy, rum and coke, a pink gin, white Scotch, a wine, a cider, and a lemon on the rocks.
Pardon, sir?
Look, the lady in the sack dress, brandy. See? The flathead, rum and coke, a Scotsman behind, a white gin. The lady with the pink boobs, a cider. Just a minute, just a minute. What was it you were having to put down? Yes, right. Thank you. That's yes. I thought that was it. Yes. Is that mine?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Say it again, please.
Certainly, sir.
Now, I've got it this time. It's one brandy, one rum and lemon, a pink thing, a white lady with double boobs, rough rocks, wine on the house, and a big bottle.
Pardon, sir?
Don't worry, it's all under control. Look, the lady in the sack wants a tall Scotch. The bare lady with the behind wants a rum and coke. My wife will have an old man on the rocks. The girl with the shifty boobs wants a big bottle of brandy on the house. The young man with the flat wife wants enormous wine. The white lady with the pink... just a minute, just a minute. Now, wait a minute, you've ordered the pink wine. Yes, I thought that was it, yes. Is that mine?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Say it again, please. Now, are you listening? It's simple. Simple. I'll have a gin and tonic.
I've got one ready for you.
Oh, thank you. Either one of these, is it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Why didn't you have a beer?
No, thank you, sir.
Right, now, I do exactly what I'm doing, all right? Here goes. The randy girl with a big bottle wants a rough Scotsman. Rough Scotsman. The tall lemon wants a double shifty on the rocks. The bare woman with the boobs like the side of a house wants a pink old man. The enormous chap with the flat gin wants my wife with the beer behind. And the white lady wants a sack of Coke. It's simple enough. What are you having?
Look, sir,
Look, ready? Now, wait a minute. Look, this is it, right? Ready? Forget all previous orders. Just give me a sack of Coke, 2 large rocks, 2 pink boobs, an enormous lemon, and a large bear lady of the house.
That's all. I'm glad we finally got that sorted out.
Yes, so am I, yes.
1 sack of Coke.
1 sack of Coke.
2 large rocks.
2 large rocks.
1 pair of pink boobs.
1 pair.
An enormous lemon.
Enormous lemon, yeah.
And, a large bear lady on the house.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, you can carry that. Right, look, now I'll take the lemons, you take the rocks, will you? Come on, back now. Who ordered the pink boobs?
One of my favourite pieces from the Two Ronnies is the Phantom Raspberry Blower. Now, there is a reason for this, because I was the one that blew all the raspberries. Not many people know that.
Victorian London continued to be outraged by terrible attacks and shocking confrontations during those dark autumnal days of 1898.
I've never been so...
Here, I want to work with you.
Search went on into the night. Meanwhile, back in Scotland Yard, Inspector Corner sat thinking in the comfort of his own office.
Let's go through the sequence of events in order. Go through the facts. One at a time. Tying things up. Looking for clues. First, take the scene at number 10. The butler answered the door. When the attacker produced his card, he collapsed upon the floor. When the assailant left, he made a most peculiar noise. He shocked the Duchess, man on crutches, and 3 small boys.
Next, Lady P. Berkeley Hunt.
Terrible thing.
Horrible stunt. There was her ladyship in bed with nothing at all on her mind. In rushed a terrible creature and attacked her from behind.
Disgusting.
She got a fright, her hair turned white and her face a very dark grey.
The pantry man, Jim. What happened to him?
His ardour faded away.
Jealousy could have been the motive.
Could be a solution.
Both victims jilted him.
He's seeking retribution. Now all we do is find someone who fits the plan.
Someone who fancies a tall brunette and a big fat man.
In the weeks that followed, the Phantom relentlessly continued his attacks on the aristocracy. Inevitably, the news filtered through to the darkest corners of the far-flung empire, including Buckingham Palace. Tempers were short, nerves were frayed in the royal household. On the morning of November the 12th, Edward VII, then Prince of Wales, was arguing with his royal mother, Queen Victoria.
The Phantom Raspberry Blower, Mama.
Oh, yes, Mr. Gladstone said it could be almost anybody.
And almost everyone else says it could be Mr. Gladstone.
Nonsense, just because he prowls around late at night talking to ladies of the street. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I think that's what I'll do.
Now, what about this game?
Oh, very well, very well. What do you want?
Go on, bust me for a shilling. One, your money, come on. Pay up. Edward, that noise, was that you?
Yes,
You? It can't be.
What do you mean? What are you staring at me like that for, Mama? Answer me. Answer me.
Is it possible? Could it be that our own Edward, Prince of Wales, is the dreaded monster? Someone so near to the dear Queen. If this is so, then nothing at all can stand in the way of the phantom raspberry blower of old London town.
Obviously, I'm far too young to remember the Two Ronnies from the off, but when they did birth into my consciousness, I liked them from the off. And the reason I liked them so much was because of their different sizes. And I was aware of that when I was little, that they were very different shapes. But I didn't know until I became a sort of over-analytical, I can't even say the word, over-analytical comedian, that Ronnie Barker does the smaller performances but has the bigger body, and little Ronnie Corbett does the bigger performances but has the littler body. And I think that's nice.
We're cornered, Corporal. We should be lucky to get out of here alive.
Probably later than that, sir.
What?
Probably later than 5, sir. Nearer 5:30.
I said get out alive, not get out by 5.
Oh, sorry, sir. It's these guns, sir.
I know.
I can't hear, sir, with the guns, sir.
Yes.
Are we, sir, are we cut off from the others, sir?
Yes, I'm afraid we are, Corporal. Yes, we can either lie low here until morning, or you can find a high vantage point and see if you can spot the enemy. What do you say?
Thank you, sir.
No.
Oh, well, it's up to you, sir.
Yes. I think you'd better get up a tree and risk it.
Oh, thank you, sir. I could just do with one.
What?
I could just do with a cup of tea and biscuits, sir.
I said get up a tree and risk it.
Oh dear.
Well, go on, make a start.
Make a start, sir.
Make a start! Make a start! Do I have to repeat every stupid little word?
Well, there's no need to be personal, sir.
What?
Well, calling me that.
I said stupid little word.
Oh, sorry, sir. I thought you said something else, sir.
Get on with it, Corporal.
Sir, I can't climb trees, sir.
What?
I can't climb trees. Never could. Ever since I was a small boy at Wimbledon, sir.
You never told me that, Corporal.
What's that, sir?
That you were a ball boy at Wimbledon. And I've always loved tennis.
Dennis the cook, sir.
Tennis, man! Oh, never mind all that. Look, up on the ridge there's one of our tanks. You've got to go up and recapture it, right? But listen, be terribly careful.
Yes, sir.
This place is full of Jerry snipers.
Yes, sir.
Anywhere near a tank is a hot spot.
Oh, I don't think we are, sir.
What?
Anywhere near a Lancashire hot pot, sir.
You're obsessed with food, Corporal.
Sir, I can't go, sir.
Why not?
My gun's gone wonky, sir.
Well, it's nerves. I'm the same. Don't worry about it.
No, sir, my gun, sir.
Oh, your gun? What's the matter with it?
Well, it was in my pocket, sir, and it went off half-cocked, sir.
That's terrible. You'll have to report to Matron when we get back to Castle. I tell you what, I'll have to go myself, Corporal.
All right, sir.
Okay, don't worry.
Yes.
Now then, let's have...
Are you all right, sir?
Of course I'm not all right. I'm shot.
Well, it is, sir. I'm hot too, sir.
Sir, oh, never.
Shall I get the stretcher bearer, sir?
No, it's too late for that. Just go and let me die in peace.
Do you want any gravy, sir?
Gravy?
Any gravy on your pie and peas, sir?
I didn't say go and get me pie and peas. I said go and let me die in peace.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Oh, don't worry about it, Corporal. You're not such a bad chap.
Thank you, sir.
We haven't always seen eye to eye. Or ear to ear, for that matter.
No, it's the gun, sir.
Listen, at least if you get back alive, when I get up to heaven, they'll say, out of all this mess, you've saved an ordinary man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Save what, sir?
An ordinary man.
Yes, sir, I will.
You will what?
As soon as I get back to the mess, sir, I'll save you a strawberry flan, sir.
I was and remain a huge fan of the great Two Ronnies, and one of the very best bits of those wonderful shows was, of course, Ronnie Corbett's hilarious monologues from his great big chair. Those extraordinary journeys of the imagination when Ronnie explored the longest comedic distance between those two important points, feed line and punchline. Whatever the gag was, Ronnie always seemed to be able to prize in his producer, his wife, his golf handicap, whatever. Wherever he went, we always loved going with him. Now, a lot of those later monologues, which we all remember so well, were written by David Renwick, the brilliant writer who went on to create such classic hits as 1 Foot in the Grave. But the early work and the early monologues were written by Spike Mullins, a wonderful writer who, along with Ronnie, created the original chair monologues. Here's an example of that team at its very best.
Thank you, Elaine Del Mar. Good heavens, if I thought I could sing like that, I'd have the operation tomorrow. And if my wife is listening, I'm just joking. I have to say that because my wife has just won a do-it-yourself surgery outfit. In her favourite magazine, The Lancet, it is. Or the Outpatients Weekly or something, anyway. She does read a lot of that sort of thing because she does enjoy a lot of ill health. There's nothing she enjoys as much as a bit of ill health. Mind you, when I think about it, and I often do, I suppose it's all something to do with the fact that her family have always been closely connected with the medical profession, you know, either as doctors or patients, you know. And sometimes both. For instance, her father, my wife's father, this is, was in the Army Medical Corps, and he met his end when he fell out of bed. No, I'm not going to embroider on that. My father never liked his end embroidered upon. No. Would you? No. To each his own, I suppose. No, my wife's father, in the Army Medical Corps, met his end when he fell out of bed examining a patient. So that was... And he was court-martialed posthumously, and his ashes were reduced to the ranks. Anyway, about these competitions she's won. I went home the other night. You know how you do things on impulse. She was very excited, you know, the old Lucozade was out. Because apparently, she has won no less than 2 competitions. She had won the competition called Spot the Gynecologist. And she'd won another competition where you have 6 pictures of doctors and you have to place them in the order in which they should be struck off. She's really, really thrilled with herself. She's won the 2 prizes. She's won a prize. She's won an evening out with a male nurse who has his end embroidered upon. And 2, she has won, have 2 of your friends certified for Christmas. Poor old Bob and Joyce Larkin are in for a bit of a shock. And, of course, the surgery for beginners outfit. Now, I must say the surgery outfit looks very impressive. I mean, I don't suppose you could take your leg off or anything, but I bet you could make a nasty mess of your ankle. But that's actually nothing to do with the reason I was asked to come here, you know, and talk tonight. Now, however, hundreds of people, every week, you know, write to me. Honestly, hundreds of people write to me. Let's be honest, every week nobody writes to me. To me, a pool scooping is a fan letter. I get letters from my mother addressed to whom it may concern. There is one letter I get every week from a fellow who says, leave £3 in used notes under a flat stone in the middle of Hampstead Heath. And I'm not sure if he's got the negatives. But it's a day out for the kids. But someone did write to ask if I would tell the first joke I ever told professionally. No. And anyone who suspects that this is a contrived excuse to tell an old joke, this letter can be examined after the show. Over my dead body. But I do happen to remember that it was a joke about a parrot and a conjurer. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, good God, he's not going to tell that old parrot and conjurer joke. Because that is exactly what the producer said. The producer of the show, he said, take my advice, Ducky, he said. Take my advice, Ducky. Perhaps some of you noticed our producer when you came in, did you? The chap with the earphones, you know, and the red dress. Anyway, that needn't worry you. Worries us, but it needn't worry us. He said, take my advice if you know what's good for you. He said, if you must tell old parrot jokes, tell them the favourite one about the old lady and the parrot, which is a story I'd never heard before. And apparently it is about an old lady who lives at the top of this, that's why it's called The Old Lady and the Parrot, who lives at the top of this tenement block with her parrot. And she's going out one day, you see, and she says to the parrot, now, Polly, she said, Mummy's going to pop down to the shops for a minute. Do-do-do. Pathetic, isn't it? Nothing like an old lady talking to a parrot. Anyway, she said, I'm going down to the shops, and if anyone calls, you must remember to shout out, who is it? Who is it? Thus giving the impression that the place is occupied, so that it will not be turned over by the local ne'er-do-wells in my absence. Now, be a good parrot. If you're a good parrot, I'll get you some nice polyfiller. So off she goes, silly old fool, and who should knock at the door? Who should knock at the door but the insurance man? And the parrot says, who is it? And he shouts through the letterbox, it's the insurance man. And the parrot says, who is it? He says, it's the insurance man. And they go on like this for a time until frustration and excitement, coupled with a long walk up the stairs, which I forgot to mention, is too much for the poor insurance man, and he collapses on the ground. And he's still there when the old lady comes back, you know. And she looks down at him lying there, and she says, who is it? And the parrot from inside shouts, it's the insurance man!
This next sketch is 24 years old. You won't believe it when you see it. I first saw it when I was a teenager, probably one of those Saturday nights sitting there watching the Two Ronnies. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. I'll never forget this sketch. And when you watch it again as an adult, you'll see how Big Ronnie looks as if he has all the best lines and he's the star of the show. But look at Little Ronnie. He's got a thankless task there, but he never lets go of it, and he's shining while he does it. It's brilliant. I hope you enjoy it. Here it is, the Rook Restaurant.
This is rather nice, isn't it?
It's funny we've never seen it before.
Well, I don't think it's been open awfully long, but I...
Always back.
Yes, it's,
Yes?
Well, we'd like a meal, please.
Two, is it?
Yes. Yes.
Have you booked?
No.
Well, I suppose I can fit you in here if you like.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me. Sorry. Yes?
Could we have a look at the menu, please?
A bleeding menu now.
Nice port.
Oh, look! The menu's shaped like a rook.
It's the name of the restaurant, isn't it? Complete Rook.
Now, it's written sort of all different, isn't it? I don't know.
Eh?
No, sorry, I'm talking to my friend. Now, look, there's rook patty here. Some rook patty. Do you recommend the rook patty?
Only when we've got a lot we want to get rid of.
Well, it's honest, at least.
What about soup of the day?
What is the soup of the day?
Rook soup.
I expect it's nicer than it sounds.
Bleeding, isn't it? It's worse than it sounds. Have you ever had camel's liver marinated in rain for 5 days and then strained through a balaclava helmet by a pregnant yak?
Yes, I think we had that in Morocco, didn't we?
Oh, surely not, darling.
I'm not being serious. We didn't have it in Morocco. It was Tunis, wasn't it? No. Tell me, why do you ask?
Well, rook soup's worse than that.
Why did you recommend it?
Well, it's going off. Bleeding freezes on the blink again.
Look, I think the best idea is going to be to choose the main course, you know, and then sort of build round it, really.
Yes, good idea.
You know, then you know where you are. Because you find that, You see, there's roast rook, braised rook, steamed rook, stuffed rook. What is this? La cornet bouillie à la mode de Toulouse.
Boiled rook.
Doesn't seem to be the sort of restaurant to come to if you don't like rook.
Not the sort of restaurant to come to if you do like rook.
Why is that?
We serve bloody awful tough old rooks, that's why. All full of lead shot, break your teeth on them, terrible business.
Still, I expect the chef has a magic touch with them.
Magic touch? Magic touch? What a chef. Don't make me laugh. Too much of that, he's riff-raff, he is. Too much of that, too much of that, rubbish. I'm the only bloke that keeps the tone of this place up here.
Tell me, what is this? This fascinates me here. Coeur de cornet Nantua.
That's 2 rook's tails stuffed in a shrimp sauce.
You must admit you haven't got a very varied menu.
Nothing to crow over. I'm awfully sorry, but I read in the Reader's Digest an article on how to relieve tense situations with humour.
Why don't you try it?
You can make your ruddy minds up or not. I've got a lot of people waiting to serve it.
I tell you what, why don't we start with the sweet and work backwards?
That's better, I think. Now, look, we've got ice cream there and ice cream there. Tell me, what kind of ice cream is this?
Rook and raspberry ripple.
Well, I'm going to plump myself for the rook cocktail, followed by roast rook with the rook meringue.
So will I.
That bleeding time and all.
We could just walk out.
Oh, I don't like doing that, dear.
It's a complete rook.
Well, the name of the restaurant told us that, dear. We can't sue them under the Trade Descriptions Act. I mean, it's... we can't...
Sorry, rook's off.
What?
Rook's off.
Oh, right, we'll go somewhere else. Thank you very much for all the trouble. We'll probably pop and have a little Chinese down the road.
We've got a bit of stewed tortoise left if you want to...
Stewed tortoise? Well, why didn't you say? We'll have stewed tortoise for 2. Lovely.
Oh.
Yum, 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 yum.
2 dinners.
My dad's name's Ronnie, and I think he'd really have liked it if I'd been one of the 3 Ronnies, because he loves their humour, but he thinks mine's a bit rude and a bit too sort of feminist up front, which is obviously why I've had such trouble trying to get him to read The Female Eunuch. Anyway, he loved this sketch. It's called Nuts, My Lord.
Where's the food, my dear? We seem to have been waiting an extraordinary amount of time. Honestly, this new butler, so damned erratic. Wait for hours, and all the food seems to come at once. He's damned impudent to boot as well. So
Oh, do you think so, dear? He's always very polite to me.
He may be to you, but he's damned impudent to me, dear. So...
Your game, milady?
I say, Blenkinsop, will you hurry along with my roast pork, there's a good soul, and make sure it's a nice fatty piece, will you? See that? Damn well ignoring me.
Don't make such a fuss. He's very efficient.
Maybe to you, dear. To me, he's damned impudent.
You're fat, my lord.
See what I mean, dear? I shall have to sack him.
Steady on. We've enough servant trouble as it is. The handyman about to leave us, and the plumbing's in a terrible state.
It reminds me, dear, I must talk to you about the lavatories. They've all gone sort of...
You're sweet, my lady.
Oh, thank you,
You're nuts, my lord.
Cheeky swine. How am I supposed to open these?
You're crackers, my lord.
Ed does it, dear. Staff shortage or no staff shortage, he goes.
Well, you know best, dear. What were you saying about the lavatories?
They're broken, dear. Out the water. Up the spout, down the drain.
What? And we've sacked the handyman? How are we going to manage?
You're pale, my lady. You're potty, my lord.
Out of all the sketches, my favourites are the musicals. For me, they epitomise the very best of Barker and Corbett. Now, I'm going to show you 2. First of all, there's the Barbershop Quartet, and then there's the Morris Men.
was a skating rink.
Now, don't upset yourselves and don't feel rotten. Your hair is gone but not forgotten.
Hip-hooray, hip-hooray, hip-hooray.
There's some wigs in the cupboard and I don't know where I got them, but they're made of nylon mixed with cotton.
Get away,
Get away. It's a fact. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Way, wah, wah, ba, 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 do-way, ba, 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 ba. Do-way, 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 ba, 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 ba. Do-way, 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 ba, 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 ba. Now, they could be rather tricky to keep in place when we need something sticky and we'll splash it on all over the fire gum. They're stuck. A scum and go lift them, the best of luck. You'll never ever shift them. You'll never ever shift
Oh, Bold Sir John was young and fair, and Bold Sir John was gay. He said, I'll tread the morning dew to take the air and listen to the twittering of the birds all day, the bumblebees at play.
The twittering of the birds all day. The bumblebees at play.
So Bold Sir John, he went his way, observing nature's farce. Dear Mother Earth, oh tell me pray, why elephants live so long, they say. Your flies live but a day, then they drop dead upon the grass.
Your flies, your flies, your flies,
live but a day, then they
drop dead, drop dead, drop dead, drop dead, drop dead upon the grass.
Now Bold Sir John, he met a maid as on her back she lay. Please show respect and come not near, for I've seen many a maiden here get lost among the new mown hay. So doff your hat, I pray.
Get lost, get lost, get lost, get lost, get lost
among the new mown hay.
Sawed off, sawed off, sawed off, sawed off,
sawed off your hat, I pray. When Bold Sir John returned home, they gave him gin to try. Nay, fill me not with liquor up, nor give me grain nor grape to sup. Poor cow slips dew into my cup, a Puritan am I.
Poor cow, poor cow, poor cow, poor cow, poor cow slips dew into my cup. Up you, up you, up you, up you, up you, Puritan am I. Poor cow, poor cow, poor cow, poor cow, poor cow slips dew into my cup. Up you, up you, up you, up you, up you, Puritan am I.
Good night, Boldies. Good night, Boldies, Boldies. It's time to leave you now.
Now that you have lost your hair,
You're all bare, we don't care.
stick your hats on fair and square, then no one will know.
Goodbye, Boldies. Goodbye, Boldies. Goodbye, Boldies. It's time to leave you now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, that brings us to the end of the first part, doesn't it, Ronnie?
Yes, it does. Too late, I'm afraid, to meet the lazy housewife who left a note for her husband telling him his salad was in the garden.
And And too late to talk to the pop star who crossed a church service with a colourful climber and created mass hysteria.
There is time for these items fresh in.
Yes, indeed. England's team for football's World Cup was chosen today. It's Brazil.
Floodwater filled the festival hall tonight, forcing the 17-stone contralto, Renata Lindström, to escape by floating through the doors on a double bass. She was accompanied by her husband on the piano.
The Fogwell twins of Knaresborough, both dustmen, got married today. They both carried their brides over the thresholds of their new homes, but from force of habit, dropped bits of them along the garden path.
There's been good news tonight for London motorists. Congestion on the North Circular Road is to be eased by the construction of the Golders Green Passover.
There was confusion at the Odeon, Croydon tonight when Alma Nibs, the senior usherette, accidentally sat on a torch and showed herself up in the circle.
What a picture, what a picture. Join us after the news when there'll be a sketch featuring Mr. Ronnie Corbett, who usually goes to the Canaries for Christmas, but this year accepted a kind invitation from the Gerbils.
And in part two, there'll be an interview with a very lazy Gordon Highlander who crossed his uniform with a bag of flour and invented the self-raising kilt.
Is your cat all right? Only she's very still.
Of course she is, Constable. She's dead.
I never left your mother. She left me. It's protected, sir. That's strictly illegal. I didn't know about you.
What would it have made a difference?
It might have done. I call her my Mona Lisa. I keep on asking myself, what kind of father would I have made?
Don't you mean what kind of father will you make?
Badger, Sunday at 8:30 on BBC One.
Saturday night on BBC One. At 5 to 6, Jim Davison gives some more stars of the future their big break.
Yes!
And Lily's contestants are getting starry-eyed.
Got these off of Elton John.
You know, did you? Then the men are out to impress the other half.
They're the thrill you weren't expecting.
At 7:35,
Winning lines, the new look lottery.
where your phone number could be your ticket to the holiday of a lifetime.